justifies.
Brian's coming up for the opening prayer, please.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for these council members that you've appointed here in the city. God, thank you so much for everything that you've given us and blessed us here in the city. Protect our fire and our police as they do their work here in this city, Lord. Thank you so much, and it's in Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Please verify the roll. Your motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Second. Got a motion second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Is there a motion to approve to prepare an agenda? So moved. Second. Motion second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Next is citizens' comments. If you want the audience like to address the council. Okay. Moving on to unfinished business. There's none. And we'll go to the first agenda item. DPD. Well, Batesville Police Department. Good evening. Good to see you, Chief.
Thank you.
Back on your feet.
For the second 2 weeks now, I've been walking, so good to be off crutches. So, with that being said, I'd love to tell you all the wonderful, great things they're doing at the department. Kind of still off on leave. Captain Fryers took care of everything and calls me pretty regularly and tells me what's going on. But as far as I know, there's nothing to add to the report other than what you already guys had, what you guys already have, unless you have questions or something.
I have a question, just a couple of questions about the reports. Not a major thing at all, but on the offenses by violation report, would it be possible to change that format to a rolling 13 months? And the reason for that is because when we switch over to the first year, we're only going to have 1 month's worth of data. But if you go 13 months,
I can't answer that because
okay.
it's computer generated. It's not like I sit there and make it. I'm not smart enough for that. The computer generates it. I'll look and see. I can't give you an answer because I don't know.
Okay, all right. And then also, I don't know if this is the same way than the other report of offenses. Is it possible you have this month's information, but could you add the same month in the previous
I'll
year?
look and see.
That way you can see what our trends
Yeah,
are.
I don't know. To be honest with you, Rob, I've never tried it.
Sure.
But I'll look and see.
Okay.
If I can, I'll do it next time.
Okay. Any other questions for Chief? Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. David Johnson, City Engineer.
Not a lot of changes, from the last meeting. Just a quick update on parks is making good progress. The sports courts have been poured. They're not going to do any more work on them. They're going to do coating and stuff next year. Wait till warm weather hits. I don't want to coat them kind of in the bad weather. It kind of makes it a lot more difficult, a lot more possibility of it not working right. So the building, as you can tell, is making good progress. They're working to get it enclosed. Roof's going on. They've got the decking on. They got the roof material coming. It'll be here soon. Their work continues. On the water treatment plant, the intake is starting to pick up momentum. You see the crane working down there. They're doing the drilled shafts, which is the foundation for the new intake structure that'll be installed and built. They will be very soon starting to install sheet pile in the river, which they have to build. We're building the new intake in 2 halves. So we'll replace the existing intake with the first half and put it in service, and then build the rest of it out. And they have to build 2 copper sails to install where we will pull the water out of the river. And so those sheet pile are supposed to be in transit, and once they get delivered, they're going to be starting to install those sheet pile. The concrete pours continue on the site. Good progress is being made. Still, according to schedule, they're about 2 weeks behind schedule, but here we are. We're at 12 months in, and I'll only be 2 weeks behind. It's pretty good. They've got in about 3 or 4 months. They've rearranged some things where they say they're going to make that 2 weeks up and even some more time if things go right. So hopefully nothing else will go wrong this winter that'll add to that schedule. But overall, I'm real happy with both those contractors. Both those contracts are going well. Work is going well. We have, last time, as you know, we accepted the in situ form sewer rehab work project. We've got a pre-construction meeting set up for early January. I think it's the 16th of January. So that work will start soon after that happens. Both the plants are running well. Our crews are continuing to work, and water crews are this kind of weather, chasing leaks and doing that kind of maintenance. And same for street department. They're kind of doing what they can, drainage kind of cleanup kind of stuff. They're not doing any, no painting or anything like that now that it's gotten cold. So no pothole repairs or anything. That's really about it. I don't have much else for y'all tonight, unless y'all have something for me. All right. Thank y'all.
Okay, consider resolution supporting driving. Oh, gee. Turn it up. I promise you I wasn't going to skip you.
It's okay. It's fine. It'd been fine if you did. We had a pretty busy. The paperwork that I sent y'all is actually all of November and up to date on December. We done like 91 total calls. Had 3 structure fires. Some medical assist. We did the shop with a hero thing at Walmart where they shop with the foster kids and stuff. And I do want to throw John and Fred PD out. They helped us tremendously on the Christmas Franks Hope stuff. I mean, it takes it all hands on deck and then some, and they stood up and helped us on a bunch on that. I do want to throw that out for them. But everything else is pretty much business as usual. We're doing some more MVAs. It was getting to a point where they wasn't paging us out on wrecks, and we had a 14-minute time from the time the wreck happened to the time they paged us out on one at Southside. And I sent them an email and told them that any time that Vital Link rolls on an accident, that we should roll a coup. That way, it's better to turn us around if they don't need us than it is to need us and wait 15 minutes in a car traffic. So that's kind of where we're at there. And I did talk to, on the rescue truck, the president of Banner Fire called me yesterday. We talked for about an hour on the phone. And he said it's fixing to get done. He apologized, falling all over himself on it. He said that it's top priority. So maybe. Did he give you a time frame or anything? He talked like maybe get good started on it in a couple of weeks. They do, Vince, we did go with a Ford chassis instead of the Dodge chassis. They have rigs set up to where they can go ahead and start building the box on the truck now. That they are transporting the truck to Roxana, Illinois, where their main factory is. And then when they get the box built and everything, then they'll transport it back to assemble. They'll get it what they call DOT ready, which is they'll put the lights and stuff in it and ship it back to Oklahoma City and finish putting it together there. He talked like it wasn't going to be that much. He said there's one ahead of it, and as soon as he gets it knocked out, that we're going to be top of the line. Like I say, he fell all over himself apologizing for everything that was going on. So we'll see. Yes, sir. We do. We do. We had on the. I don't know if y'all know how this thing operates. It doesn't operate with hydraulic cylinders. It works with steel cable and pulleys. And some of the pulleys had worn almost plumb out, and they had to hand or custom make them because they just don't make them anymore. But yeah, it's up and running. Everything's good. I may be mistaken, but as far as I can tell, everything's going good. We got our thermal imaging cameras in yesterday, and we're installing them in the fire trucks. We got our new air packs. We got some air packs that's going out of date next year, and I went ahead and replaced them now. That stuff's been replaced with Act 833 money. So, but yeah, we're moving forward.
Thank you, Chief. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, now we're in the meeting. All right, this is considered resolution supporting reviving the state-run federal surplus property program administered by the state of Arkansas. I know there's been a lot of concern around the state. I know we've utilized this. PD has used it, fire department has used it back through the years, street department. We've gotten many things. We've saved not only we saved thousands of dollars with the old motor grader, practically brand new, and somehow they decided that it was not feasible to keep this, but the legislators had no idea to cut it down. So the Arkansas Municipal League meeting here just a few weeks ago, they talked about presenting a resolution, and hopefully that we can try to save that for our community. But it is definitely a cost saving measure for so many individuals. I mean, I'm sure the real large cities, but the smaller ones and the cities our size has been a great benefit. So that being said, would someone like to introduce the resolutions? I would. It's a motion to read the resolution by title only.
So moved.
Second. 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 Please cast your votes. Mr. Maxson.
This resolution is in support of providing the state federal surplus property program by the state.
Any further discussion? Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved. Second.
Motion second. Cast your votes. Got a lot of this some of these next resolutions are kind of cleaning up some of the legislative things that Mr. Recorder had another obligation tonight. Could not make it, but go ahead and move into E. Consider an ordinance to amend the various residential provisions of the Title 14 zoning of Batesville Municipal Code. Would someone like to introduce the ordinance?
I would.
Is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
I mean,
Got a second?
Second.
Second. Council, please cast your votes. Mr. Mason?
Ordinance to amend various residential.
Any further discussion? None, is there a motion to suspend the rules and waive the second, third readings?
Motion.
Second. Please cast your votes, council. For motion to adopt the ordinance?
Super. Second.
Motion second, please cast your votes, council. Okay, next is consider resolution amending the Batesville comprehensive plan in the area northeast of Harrison Street and east of Wright Inland Road. Someone like to introduce the resolution? Is there a motion to read the resolution by title only?
So moved.
Second. Please cast your votes, council. Ayes. Any discussion? None, is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Second. Please cast your votes. Okay, next is consider ordinance to amend the Batesville zoning district's map. And I've got out here, I think Mr. Mikowski, are you here? That's all. Have any questions? Okay, would someone like to introduce the ordinance? I would. Is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
Second.
Second. Council, please cast your votes. Okay. Mikowski, do you want to elaborate on any of that? Particularly, I know we've got your name on two of these ordinances here. Which is a good thing. All that progress. So.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. There's already multifamily where we're rezoning, and we're just going to make it contiguous with the R2 that's already there and put some multifamily units on that road. And there'll be a bigger project in the future that's connected to this project.
Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rules and waive the second, third readings?
Second.
Second. Council, please cast your votes. Okay, is there a motion to adopt the ordinance? Second. Please cast your votes. Okay, next is consider a resolution authorizing the city of Batesville to accept a donation of Grace Hospital to Mikowski Investments Holdings, LLC. I think everybody's pretty familiar with that. We've already talked about the Grace Hospital, lighted area. Someone would like to introduce the resolution?
I do.
Is there a motion to read the resolution by title only?
Second.
Second. Please cast your votes, council. Okay. Mr. Matson?
Resolution authorizing the city of Batesville to accept a donation from Grace Hospital.
Further discussion?
Just one point of clarification, just to remind everyone that we have already received approval for our grant to remove any hazardous substances that are there. We're hopeful and perhaps even expect that we'll receive another grant that will allow that building to be taken down. So that's all coming together.
And another point of clarification, certainly we've talked historically that this building has been confirmed to contain a significant amount of asbestos, which has always hindered the removal of the building, taking the structure down, rehabilitation. So now we actually have the ability to remove actual confirmed asbestos from the site, which has been a long time coming for sure. So it's a wonderful thing.
Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
No, I'm saying.
Second, please cast your votes. Guys, we really appreciate it. Looking forward to the progress that we'll see in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next is a resolution authorizing the Batesville Water Association merge into the Batesville Water Utility. Would someone like to introduce the resolution?
I will.
Okay, is there a motion to read the resolution by title only? Second. Okay, let's cast your votes. Okay, Mr. Bison.
Resolution authorizing the Batesville Water Association to merge into Batesville Water.
Any discussion? Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Thank you.
Second, let's cast your votes, council. Okay, next on the agenda is an executive session. It's a motion to enter into an executive session.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, like sign.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the council meeting.
Okay, a couple, appointments, reappointments. Mr. Roberts?
Yeah. I have a couple of reappointments to our Historic District Commission. These are for 3-year terms. Reappointment of Miss Shannon Haney through 2026, as well as Mr. Nelson Varner.
Okay, we have a motion. Have a second. Second. Okay, so y'all got a motion second. Any further discussion? Not, for reappointment, signify by saying aye. Opposed, like sign. Okay, next on the agenda is consider orders providing for the adopting of the City of Batesville budget for the 12 months beginning January 1, 2026. And before we do get started, I think I mentioned this kind of during our budget meeting. Of course, this will be a kind of a working document. There is a possibility, well, there is a good possibility we'll be amending this through the year. And I think I've reflected and told most of you that it was a very tight budget. We were able to give a 2%. We'd love to have been able to give more to all the employees, as well as their incentive, the $1,000 percentage. We'll continue to look at that. The capital, very little capital was purchased this year. And like I said, our city has grown. We had close to almost $100,000 just in health insurance. Property insurance has also increased. And you can almost bet that that's going to go up each year, but hopefully it'll level off at some point. Our health insurance is it can go down. We have a healthy employees and things, because we're rated. I think, what are we now? We got 4 or 5 on the scale. Yeah. Yeah. We basically spent more than yeah. Okay, would someone like to introduce the ordinance?
I will, Mayor.
Is there a motion to read the ordinance by title only?
So moved.
Motion second. Okay, cast your votes, please. Okay. Mr. Meissen, please read the ordinance by title only.
Yes, sir. Ordinance providing for adopting for the City of Batesville budget for the 12 months beginning January 1st, 2026, covering for each and every department in the City of Batesville, which there is provided, declaring an emergency for
Okay. Any further discussion? Not, is there a motion to suspend the rules and waive the second and third readings? Second, please cast your votes. Is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second, please cast your votes. Okay. Motion carries. Okay.
Motion to adopt the ordinance of course.
Second.
Motion to adopt, and a second. Any further discussion? Not, motion. Oh, yeah, okay. Go ahead. Yeah, please read.
It is hereby declared that an emergency exists and that this open being in residential building is appropriate and protected from and after the day that
Good. Thank you. Further discussion? Not? All in favor? Signify by saying aye. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're up here. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I can get a little stuff. Okay. Good. All right. Now let's move on to financials. Any questions or comments? Not? We'll move over to mayor comments. Next meeting, I think right now, and there may be some, I think the second Tuesday in January is the 12th. That is also also right before
13th.
the 13th, yeah, 12th on a Monday, so it'll be the 13th, on a Tuesday. Right now, I know the league is that week. But right now, let's leave it to that 13th. There may possibly be, I know planning and zoning is meeting on the Monday before the 12th left that week. So there may be some changes, but right now, let's just leave it to that. That's good with that. Okay, and also, I would like to say, after the first of the year, we will have, and I'll try to send out some dates. I'd like to have a public safety meeting. I'd like to have one for PD, and we may do these, and then I also would like to have one for fire. So we will try to have a public safety meeting sometime in January, early January. But I'll send out some dates, and I'll visit with Chief Scarborough and Chief McCollum and see what's going to fit their schedules. All right, let's move on to liaison reports.
Planning and zoning has worked very hard this year. We've worked at cleaning up a lot of our, you saw tonight, all the work we did cleaning up the language, as well as we've had some tough controversial issues as well. So keep those guys in mind. They're working hard for you.
Okay, Robert.
I would just say regarding the airport commission, we've done some restructuring with the commission, added some new members. I worked really hard on some standardization of some leases. It's going really, really well, and I think the proof's in the pudding. I've talked to quite a few people who use the airport. It's very complimentary of our staff that we have there and the facility that we have. So Justin, the employees there, and the commission really should be commended for the work.
Okay, let's move to council comments. Davis?
None.
None.
Merry Christmas.
None.
None.
Okay, there being no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.